Hey, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you guys hear me? Hey, Jocelyn. Hey, Tassie. There's the notification. You know, it's so interesting that YouTube sends the notification to the lives 5 minutes after. They send the notification 5 minutes after the scheduled time. So, how are you guys doing? Jocelyn, Tassie. Hey, Joss. How are you? How was your week? Hey Vanessa, hey Priscilla. How you guys doing? There we go. Hey you guys, come on in. We're going to get started. We're not going to do a recap on Married at First Sight US. It's too much to talk about with the Australian version. I'm doing good. Hey V Dub, how are you? If you hear a little bit of background noise, it's finally getting some good weather here, so I have the window open. So if you kind of hear a little background noise, that's what that is. Happy birthday, Vanessa. Are you doing anything big this week for your birthday? Happy birthday. Hey, The Ridge. You waited all day. You got a lot to say, huh? Because I did not do a recap for last Wednesday. And then we had Sunday. And then we had Monday. And then we had Tuesday. Yeah, everybody in the chat section, send Vanessa a happy birthday. Her birthday is today. And we are going to get started because, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Oh, it's V Dub's mom's birthday, too. Happy birthday to Mama. You're moving in your new condo this weekend. That's a nice gift, Vanessa. You are so right. Congrats. Okay, so like I was saying, I wanted to kind of wait to see how everything played out because I knew coming from everything that happened last Wednesday in episode 28, and then of course 29, and then yesterday was 30, and today is 31. A lot has been going on. So we have the dates and the boys and girls party tomorrow, but pretty much this week, I would say the past 4 or 5 days have been absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, here's the thing. One thing I will say is that not you, if you are in the comment section, fine, but I've been getting a lot of different messages, insights, different things. And you guys that's in Australia, let me know. You're welcome, Vanessa. You are so welcome. Um, Let me know, you guys in Australia, if any of this stuff that I keep getting is true or not. So, and then we're gonna break down because we also lost a couple this weekend too. One couple went home and they're gone. So, but there's a lot of different stories floating around about this situation. It's been a firestorm, right? So there's one part, and you guys, okay, I don't know if this is a little bit of tea, allegedly, or whatever. I don't know. But there's one part of people saying, because somebody told me or messaged, and I don't know if this is true or not, that the phones that they confiscate the cast members' personal phones, and then they're given phones by the production team, allegedly. And so it kind of raised questions about if this is their phones, meaning production team, because they confiscate the personal phones. How in the world, if Olivia said that she got the photo from her friends that sent it to her, she would have to have access to the production phone numbers? I thought that was kind of weird, but I did see there was another video about how Married at First Strike production confiscate the phone. So I don't know. Then there's this other news story coming out about how Dom, I guess, consented for the photos to be released for a storyline. I mean, it's just my mind has been spinning since this whole episode. Because we have Olivia, who is, I mean, she's nothing from what we're seeing, nothing like what we saw from episode 1 through 19, I would say. And then from 20 to 30, well, 20 to 30, because yesterday was 30. From the last 10 episodes, we saw a whole different side of Olivia. And it all stemmed from her being pissed off about Dominica calling people out. And then it just rolled on into this whole mess about her not having empathy and she's not sorry. And then we had the production team kind of pass notes to the other couple. What do you guys tell me? Well, let's see what you guys got in the comment section. Okay, the Red said they have their phones in AU. Okay. Now, I was told something differently, but okay. Olivia states she has no empathy. She has changed her story multiple times. Yeah, that was interesting. That was the same thing and we were saying about Cody as well when he told Selena he didn't have any empathy and he was a cold person too. Let's see. Jackson seems like he likes to thrive in a toxic space. He needs to wake up seriously. From what I understand, they are doing pretty well. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. V Dub said if they got it from OnlyFans, they have to pay for the photo. It's not circulated. Yeah, that was the other thing because there was this whole big dispute on social media about you can't just Google something that's on a paid protected site, especially because of the content that's on the site. Now, I know OnlyFans is for everything, it's not just based in one genre, but I don't think that that's something that, unless somebody who's not in the part of the show, I don't know, but if there's a person that's not part of the show, they went and paid and saw it and then circulated on. Because there was some comments that her picture was posted on Reddit somewhere. So I don't know if it was posted on Reddit 6 months ago when they were filmed, or if it was just posted on Reddit recently. Okay. I love Dom and Jack. It will be a shame, in my opinion, if they don't make it after this. Yeah, that's interesting because I've heard some stuff about that too, Heidi. I lost respect for Jackson when he defends Olivia's petty, immature behavior. I never disliked someone enough to pay for it. Yeah, me either. I mean, why would you dislike somebody that much to pay for OnlyFans? Another channel featuring former contestant explain what happened versus what was aired. Okay, so Jocelyn, I think that's where I got that information from. Somebody had shared with me that whole situation, what you're talking about, the former contestant explaining what happened versus what was aired, it's a big difference because I think what was said by that person allegedly, and I remember I'm going to surface things with the word allegedly, um I guess Dominica or somebody, oh well, Dominica consented to having the photo released and that it was all part of a storyline. I don't know. Yeah, that's what was sent. Wait, today Olivia came out and said she found the photo on Reddit. Okay, that's what she said. The Ridge. Can you, if you get a clip on that or something, a video, can you send that to me? My Oh yeah, I didn't even put my captions and stuff up there. Hold on. Let me show. Okay. All right. Yeah. So if you follow me on IG, you can send that to my DM, or because then I can actually post it or whatever. Because one thing about what we do over here, I don't like, that's why I use the word alleged. and I don't want to just, assume. If you see a video or something like that, send it to me. Hey Mary, you forgot, but that's okay. You get a pass. You were cooking. What you cook? She was on the radio interview today. She said she located on the. Okay, did you hear that on the radio, or was that a stream clip? Because if that's a clip, I want to check it out. Vanessa said, I remember they have a clip saying that Olivia asked her friends to dig up dirt on Dom and they found the picture. Okay, so are you talking, Vanessa? Are you talking about on the show, or you saw another clip? Olivia's story is how she found the photos keep changing. So either it's a terrible actress, terrible liar, she freaks out one corner, or all or none of the above. The rich, I would definitely send that to you. Okay, so yeah, send that to me if you can find it. My IG handle is there, and you can email me at romancereviewtv@gmail.com. But guys, okay, so based on what we saw, because I mean, like I said, I know there's a lot of moving parts behind the scene that we don't see, whether this was a storyline, because that was another issue on US last week about Olajuwon and the phone, and how production cut to a scene where he claimed he was looking through uh, Katina's phone, and it was a white phone. And then when they got home, Katina pulled out a black phone. So everybody was up in arms about what is production doing? Is that a fake story? I don't know. It's just a mess right now on both shows. I said it to her friend, says she look up dirt. Okay. I saw a show clip, another YouTuber's channel showed it on her video. Okay, cool. One of the definitions of a psychopath is a lack of empathy. I think that's more of a sociopath, but yeah, both of them, sociopath and psychopaths. Let me get that for you. I'll be right back. Okay, Rich. Tassie, right? I can remember what video I saw it in. Yeah, so here's the thing. If in fact this is who Olivia is, she's and it's being aired and she's acting like this in front of a camera, showing if this is who she are, who she really is being, she's destroying her life at this point. Because everything from when Dominica and Jack came to their house, and she was like, I don't have time for this. And then we had the commitment ceremony where we saw uh let me ask you guys, at the commitment ceremony, do you think that the experts scolded her the way you expected them to? Let me know. Okay. She's sitting on the couch. Yeah, let me know. What did you think? Did you guys think that they gave her the scolding for her behavior? Because they asked her for an apology at the commitment ceremony, and she was like, I just don't have it in me to give that apology to her. What did you guys think about that? No, they did not. Okay, Tassie said, I don't remember that. She was getting ready for the dinner party, and then it was her voice in the background saying this. In the background? Gotcha. Yeah, so here's the thing. There, I saw actually something out saying that, there's a petition for so many signatures for an investigation. I saw that Dominica said that she was getting legal advice. There's another petition out there, I think, that just came out in the past 24 hours saying that she should not be teaching children. So if this is who she really is, and what we're seeing on this TV show, her life is going to be in shambles for a while. Because the behavior that we saw is sociopathic. I would just say it like that. The behavior that we saw is sociopathic. Because when a person has no empathy, That's not a good sign. I said the same thing when Cody said it. I said the same thing that Cody's when hey Lockstar, welcome. No worries. We still talking about Olivia and Jackson and Dominica and Jack. Let's see. Vanessa said, I remember that Jackson was rubbing her arm as she was explaining she has no empathy. Yeah, I did hear her say that on the show. Yes. Mary said they didn't call her out on her lie that she Googled Dom. Yeah, I saw a lot of people were not happy about the experts and the scolding that they expected them to give her. Hey, I did say hi to you, Tassie. I saw your name earlier. I'm sorry. And then let me see. Was that you? Was the one that somebody else was cooking? But hello, 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 Tassie. Again, hello. Phaedra says no, no, and no again. Everything they said when observing the dinner party, they should have said at the final ceremony. Yeah, so there were other people questioning that. They was like, the behavior that they saw at that dinner party and how Olivia was talking to Dom and Dom got mad and she left and Dom saying, the energy in the room is much better with her being gone and all of this stuff. And the experts saw all of that. They also saw, what we saw on the show, the behavior of the other women and men at the table as well. So it was pretty interesting that when it came to the commitment ceremony, a lot of the fans did not, they didn't feel that the experts really held the behavior accountable. And people, because I try to get the temperature of what's going on in social media, see what people's thoughts are, and you know, and conversations. And some folks was like, why did they go hard on her? And then some people was like, well, maybe it was fake. That's why they're part of the problem. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just so interesting that they watched this whole thing. The three experts watched this whole thing go down at the dinner party, and then at the final ceremony, at the final commitment ceremony, they barely, I mean, they only touched the surface of the behavior that they were supposed to be given discipline on. Olivia's scolding as well as the group scolding was a joke. I've scolded my dogs harshly. What you say? You scolded the dogs harshly than how they held the group accountable, huh? Tassie said it was too bad they didn't get to how Olivia acted around Jackson's friends. Guys, did you see that video that I posted last Tuesday or Wednesday? There was an interview that Olivia and I was hoping to find some stuff that Dom did. So if you guys got some, some video clips that I can post, because if it's audio, I mean video, audio clips that I can post of certain interviews, kind of like how I posted the one with Selena when she was complaining about Anthony and production, you know. So if you got some of those, send them to me. I'll, definitely listen to them and, post them on my channel, and we, have a review on them. But there was a video. I mean, Jackson seems totally in love with her. She seems totally in love with him. Jackson said on that interview that he did last week, I think it was on March 15th, that the family loves her and his friends like hanging out with the both of them. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's one thing if he's delusional, but can his whole family and his groups of friends say that too? I don't know. Olivia getting grumpy and fake tears, no empathy. That's about right. Yep. I also think Selena should have received some heat, as she was the one that sent and showed the picture around the group. Yeah, that's interesting. And see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the experts scolded and kind of threw weak commentary out to the group, but it wasn't like you were wrong. This is disrespectful. It could possibly be against the law. And of course, I don't think they would want to say that. They could if the production team wanted to absolve themselves if they didn't know about any of this. But none of that happened. It was like maybe a 2 to 5 minute conversation, if that, with the group and their behavior and with Olivia. And then, of course, they went back to Olivia and Jackson telling them to stay. Some people were saying that the experts were actually gaslighting um, Olivia and Jackson. And I'm like, how? One person was like, when they asked him, do you see problems with Olivia? And he was like, no, I have a problem with the situation, not with her. I don't know. He loves that woman. He loves Olivia. It seems like he's not going anywhere. People are calling him delusional and all other types of names, but Jackson is not seeing an issue with this. He didn't like the situation between Olivia and Dom, but he's standing steadfast with his wife. Um, hey, Miss Buffalo. She had even called that white woman trash. I was done. Yeah, she did say that. Jocelyn says, "Oh, you agreeing to Heidi? Okay. I have that much on my mind. I have the link for you. Okay, drop it into my. Are you? Hey, the Ridge. Send it to my email, romancereviewtv@gmail.com, or send me a DM in my Romance Review TV on Instagram. Hey, Priestess. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I forgot. I didn't see your, missed your comment up there. Olivia says, Priestess says, Olivia will be nice to Jackson until he does something wrong. Then she will make his life hell for the sake of revenge and holding a grudge. Yeah, we'll have to see. I like to watch these couples and see what happens after the season. I do the commentaries during the season, but I also like to see what happens to them after the season too. That's all of them. Jackson is protecting the provider of Nookie or delusional or both. I mean, yeah, I guess, but I would think he could get that, anywhere, I guess. But um okay, let's see. Vanessa says Jackson grew up in a divorced home, so hopefully he's not a fixer and thinks he could change Olivia and her toxic behavior. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, like I said, we'll have to see because I can guarantee you probably a whole lot of information after. And I'm thinking Sunday might be the last episode because tomorrow, which is, yeah, we're going in, today is Tuesday, right? We're going into Wednesday. So tomorrow is the boys and girls night. And then I think the vow, what is that called? Well, the final, I guess, if you decide to stay permanently together or whatever, that happens Sunday. So I can probably guess that there's going to be a lot that's going to come out after next week. And I'm here for it, and I will be doing videos on it. Or we can continue to do a live where we can chat about the new tea that we found. I'm glad you loved the chats. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kevin. And guys, if you haven't, hit that like button. Let YouTube know that you're really enjoying the live. Priestess says Olivia lost her marbles when Jackson said he was looking forward to some time alone. Dom and Jack were right about her codependent tendencies. Yeah, that was pretty darn interesting because I mean she was looking like, yeah, like the man had just pretty much dropped off the face of the earth. Anyone else wondering why no footage of Jackson and Olivia? Um, okay, so there was a lot of speculation. Of course, there's the speculation that, they didn't have a date, which I doubt, just, and I told this about the other shows, just because you don't see it don't mean it didn't happen. It's been revealed on other shows, even the US version, that things that they didn't see, especially like the month anniversaries, which we had in the US version last week. Every man on the show did something nice for their wife, but they did not show what Elijah one did with Katina. And come to find out, apparently he bought her a Pandora bracelet with specialized charms. But of course, we didn't get to see that, and everybody was pissed off thinking he did nothing for her. So I don't know. Some you get these, producers are tricky. So there's got to be a reason why they didn't show it. Some people was speculating that they wanted to give them a break, and then others said that they probably did have it. They just didn't want to show the fans. So we'll never know why production didn't give us a final date on on the show. Now, if they're interviewed after the season, more than likely they'll probably come out to say, "Oh, we did this or we did that or whatever." So we'll definitely find out a lot more. Heidi says, can't wait for the new tea. I know, right? I love, love, absolutely love after the season because that's when all the good stuff come out. There's no producers, there's no cameras, there's no editing, there's no splicing or whatever else they do. I want to see these people in real life. I want to get the tea and we can talk about it. So yes, I'm looking forward to it too, Heidi. Your chats are terrific. Oh, thank you, Tassie. I enjoy chatting with you guys too. You guys are a lot of fun. Let's see. So, in my opinion, if Jackson marries her for real, any of his family and friends get in her way, she'll do a dom on them, and God help Jackson if he does something she doesn't like. Yep. Well, we'll see. We will see. Um, do you know why the U.S. version only has one episode a week? Um, I think only thing I can think of is the fact that maybe it's the amount of airtime that the actual network gives them. I mean, Channel 9 now in Australia obviously give Love Island and Married at First Sight 4 days a week to air, and you guys have 30 some episodes. I've been a busy girl since January 31st, but that's okay. I'm enjoying you guys. However, I think on Married at First Sight US, it's only like 16 to 18 episodes, but they spread it out over like 3 months. Season 12 with Chris and Paige and all of them with that whole drama, that season lasted for 5.5 months. So I think it went to episode maybe almost 20. So that would have put us about, yeah, because it started in January and the last episode ended in May. Yeah. So you guys, we get to see 30 episodes, but in 2 months with you guys in the AU version. Here we get 18 episodes or 20 episodes and spread out over 3.5, 4 months. So I guess we get more content because it's once a week. Um, Personally, I don't care to see any more of Olivia and Jackson. Okay, Heidi, gotcha. Vanessa says, "Oh, you agree with Mary? If Olivia is petty, then that will go for Jackson too. She hates that he goes to the gym daily." Okay, so guys, there's a video again. That clip that I posted. Apparently, now this is according to them, allegedly, in that interview that they did last week on March 15th. The statement where, and this Jackson co-signed it too. So I mean, a lot of people won't take credit to that because they think he's just protecting her. But in that clip, they asked him about Olivia and the gym and all of that. And she was like, she's been in the gym up until, I guess, apparently, when before she had the gastric bypass surgery, she stayed in the gym. And then she had a leg injury or something, which didn't allow her to go to the gym. She started to pick up more weight, and then she ended up getting the surgery. So she was a gym rat before the surgery, from what was being said. And then the whole clip about Jackson going to the gym and how she hates the gym and she don't like the fact that he's always there. When they got interviewed last week, Jackson says that that wasn't what she was referring to. Apparently, there was a conversation that was with the friends about drinking binges Friday through Sunday. And so when she says he needs to grow up, and he can't do that anymore, they switched the clip. So that clip where and this is all what was said. I'm not saying that I agree. I'm just, hey, I like to give you all of what I know, right? So according to that interview, Jackson was saying that that's what they were what she was referring to. The friends and him were talking about 2-day weekend drinking binges that he goes on. And she was talking about he's not a frat boy. He's too old for that. You can't do that anymore. What we saw was them bringing in a clip about the gym. So, of course, everybody's thinking that, oh my God, he can't go to the gym anymore. When technically Jackson said, no, that conversation was about him going on 2-day drinking binges. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Um, okay, Oh, let's see. I think Jackson could have been paired with someone genuine. Me too is difficult. I'm trying to make sure I catch up. Yeah, Tassie, season 12 looked like it was never going to end. It was straight torture for 5.5 months. That season started January 13th and didn't end to the end of May. I remember that specifically in 2021. It was crazy. Kevin says sorry, but I'm on Team Dom. Olivia needs to see counseling about how she was bullied when she was a little girl. I agree with that. If you have unresolved trauma, you need to go get help with that. Heidi says I'm in the US, but I find the AU version so much more enjoyable than the US version. Yeah, you know what, Heidi? I agree with you from what I've seen this versus, this has been a crazy crap show over the past week or so, but overall, I really truly think that the US version is way overproduced. It's just, yeah. So I agree with you. Shamunda, what's up, girl? So sad Olivia thinks the task was a personal attack from Dom. Yeah, I mean, I've seen two different sides of the story in social media because some people was like, yeah, that's what she needed to do. Dom needed to bring out her codependency. And then other folks said, oh my God, it was counterproductive. Producers knew that they were going to really have a problem with it. So that's why they had Dom to do it. And I'm like, it's pretty interesting. The comment section in social media, it's off the chain. Vanessa said maybe Olivia is jealous she can't work out like she used to and projected on Jackson. Olivia did say, though, that she hates the gym. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she did say that. Mary says I saw that. What did you see, Mary? Are you talking about the clip or the video? Is that what you're talking about? Tassie says I missed 3 episodes in a row during season 12 and I barely missed a thing. Yeah, because all they did was drag on the Chris and Paige drama. That's all. Heidi says I'm actually finding US version or at least the season very boring. Yeah. And it's that, we had Alyssa for a minute and then they dropped the Alyssa drama because she's no longer on the show, even though she's still hanging around the couples on the rooftop. And then they're pushing drama to the other couples. There is no new episode this week. It's a mid-season review on US version. So the next episode for the US version comes out next Wednesday, not tomorrow. Just to let you guys know. Mary says she was his world now. So my guess is that if she can't handle being away for even 24 hours, that's a major problem. Yeah, I mean anybody that has deep codependency issues, they definitely need to go get help with that because what that means is that your identity is tied up completely into that other person. And it's almost like you can't be without them, can't live without them, that type of thing. So, if what we seeing is a codependency issue with her, then yeah, she needs to get help with that. Yes, it's not healthy. Seems like she can't be away from him at all. Yeah, it's not a healthy thing. If when a person has that, you can't function. You have to be joined at the hip almost to that individual. How are they supposed to go to work? How are they supposed to spend time separate away from you? Yeah, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. But yeah, I did not like how, I would say, I was surprised. I'll just say that I was surprised on how the experts handled the commitment ceremony. And like, one of the other comments earlier said the whole situation even on Selena, because just say if everything we see is true, that Olivia got the photo and told Selena about it. Selena was the one that passed it to everybody. That's the crazy thing. It's bad enough, especially if Olivia got the photo, but then when she shared it to Selena, Selena showed everybody else. What do you guys think about that? What do you all think about the response of everybody else in the group? Because, I mean, one thing I will say, Olivia was talking at the dinner party saying, I didn't see it as a big deal. There's no shame here, and everybody else was pretty much like nonchalant. But of course, the experts was like, I can't believe everybody's doubling down. What is your thoughts on that? Let's see. Let me scroll up. Okay, V Dub. I've gone through that codependency and it looks a lot like what Olivia did. I've been in counseling and that's probably what she needs to do. Oh, good. That's good to hear, V Dub. Absolutely. That's a great thing. When you recognize, that you're going through something and then you decide to take that move and go to counseling. Absolutely a great thing. That is awesome. I wonder what experts think now that they know and saw Olivia's true mental state. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That's why I want to see life outside of the show, because when you get to see people outside of I want to put a microscope on their everyday life. And I don't mean I'm not going to stalk anybody. No, so that's not me. But I just want to get a glimpse of these folks after the season is over. What have they been doing since filming ended? Are they still with their couples? How they with the person that they're with? How do they interact with new family members and friends? If it's totally opposite than what we saw on the show, then of course with me I question things. I don't just go by what I hear. I question everything. I'm analytical like that. Um but if everything lines up and we see, just say, Olivia is, being destructive and Jackson is broken up with her and Jackson coming out like, oh my God, it was the biggest mistake of my life. I shouldn't have did this. She was just like she was on the show and my family hates her and my friends can't stand her. I want to hear those things. You know what I mean? So, all right, wait a minute. We got a whole bunch of comments. Let's see. Why on earth wouldn't she keep it to herself? Okay, Tassie, everyone involved in that photo business should have been held accountable. They ganged up on her. Yeah. Did you guys hear anything about the fact that a lot of allegedly a lot of the cast members did not like her because Dom was going around swearing at people on set? Did you hear anything about that? Let me know. Like as a content creator, we kind of get privy to certain things, but let me know if you guys heard that. Um, Jocelyn said, "Well, having kiboshed any normal." Okay, let me make sure I'm reading this correct. Having kiboshed any normal employment opportunities post Married at First Sight, Olivia will have lots of time on her hand. Jackson, beware. Yeah, because here's the thing. I know only a certain percentage of people on this planet watch reality TV. Because, I mean, actually, when I talk to people about, hey, do you watch this show? They be like, I never heard of it. And you be like, what? So I guess there's only certain percentage that watch it. So if she finds somebody who to employ her, and people find out that she worked there, more than likely they're going to try to come for her job. They're already trying to keep her from getting a job in the education field. It happens here in the States as well. There are a ton of previous, well, I won't say a ton, but there's quite a few past cast members where people have called to get their jobs, get them fired, get them lose business deals and things like that. So, yeah, it can get crazy. Vanessa says, yes, Selena just looked at the ground when they said she shared it. I felt like she needed to own it. Yeah, I mean, but they didn't push the issue. That's the interesting thing. Olivia fueled the fire. Yeah, according to what we saw, she was the one that supposedly had brought it to the table. Olivia is the worst one, but there are mean streaks in other people. Yeah, because we got to talk about Tamara. Just because we're talking about Olivia pretty much, we still got to talk about what happened in today's episode. If you haven't seen episode 31, and we also got to talk about Al and Sam, who's no longer on the show. Um, okay, so Heidi says, I always liked Selena and felt bad for her with boring Cody, but lost all respect for her after the photo issue. Yeah, a lot of people was not happy about that at all. And a lot of people was pissed off with Cody too, because he was the one that brought it up at the dinner party. Jocelyn says the group minus Ella and Mitch should be prosecuted as well. Brent at least shows some is it comprehension, a comprehension after the commitment ceremony. My question is, with all of this taking place on their platform, meaning the production stage or whatever they have, I'm wondering did they dot their I's and cross their T's to make sure that they're not legally liable? Because all this happened under their watch. So I'm wondering if there's are they going to find anything as well? Or get anything involved with this as well. Kevin says the experts let Olivia off the hook. They should have grilled her more and called her out on other couples acting like they're in high school. Yeah, we were just talking about that. How a lot of people were extremely disappointed about how the experts dealt with the situation. The Riz said, who was not thrilled with Jack's behavior? I really like his reaction. What part are you talking about? Vanessa says Selena seems to have low self-esteem, so maybe she didn't want to go against Olivia and just roll with the crowd. Yeah, like I said, I'm waiting to see the stories that are going to be flying after next week. I want to know what's going on because there's so many things. And that's why I did this on Tuesday because it was so much stuff being said between last Wednesday and Sunday, or I should say yesterday after the commitment ceremony. And people was telling me this and sending me that and like, oh, did you see this? And this is what's going on. I'm like, okay, let this stuff kind of die down and then I'll talk about it. V-Dub said they were all complicit and should be held accountable for shaming Dom. It was embarrassing for her, even if she's okay with the OnlyFans, that picture was weaponized against her. Yeah, that's where that whole petition is out to, I guess, whatever you guys call your federal um, investigators in Australia. I forgot it was a term or something that they use um, about investigating the whole thing. Let's see. I completely agree. Selena needs better self esteem. She wouldn't put up with Cody or pull the pick me behavior. Vita, what's a pick me? Let me know what that is. I want to know. I hear so many definitions of that. Mary says, love Dom and Jack. They're going to make it. Dom picture wasn't public for all as Olivia keep claiming. It was her OnlyFans and that required paying for a membership. It does. And that's why a lot of people, well, not a lot, there was a certain percentage of folks wondering how that information came in. Um, Heard she is outspoken, did not hear anything about swearing. Lots of jealousy because she is strong and mousy and not mousy. Okay, so that's what you heard. Okay. Um, Vanessa said Cody is, and yeah, in my opinion, and is not emotionally available. He said he was, according to what we saw on the show, he said he had no empathy and he's cold. So, V Dub says none of my friends watch this show, so I love this community. Yeah, see, you got to be over here with us, V Dub. Absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. Even though it feels like a lot of us that watch the show, there's a lot of people that have no idea of reality TV, or they just don't watch it. So you're absolutely right. Olivia has no business teaching kids, says Mary. Yeah, if her behavior is what we're seeing, absolutely not. Jocelyn says Tamara did say something on air about a general dislike for Dom because of her comments, over participation, and comments on the relationships. We saw a clip of who was that yelling? Tamara? Tomorrow in tomorrow's episode, we saw Tamara yelling about something. And she was rolling her eyes when I guess the experts kept bringing it up and they were scolding. Well, what you would call their version of scolding, scolding the group. I saw Tamara rolling her eyes like here we go again. I didn't know what that look was about, but it was pretty interesting. You could see where Olivia said Dom was losing control of the group. Dom was popular and Olivia did not like that. Okay. This popped up on my site. What is this about? Sisters of Grace. This popped up on your site. This is about Married at First Sight Australia. So if you watch the show, we are actually doing a live video recapping the last 3 episodes. Lockstar says regarding Olivia's jobs prospects, I think even if a possible employer does not watch, someone on the interview panel will most likely Google her, as she said it's on the internet. Yeah, I mean, and she would have some explaining to do, but a lot of times these people don't even want the explanation. They'll be like, well, what is this? You on this TV show and you are acting like this? I don't care if you have an explanation. We don't want that here. So yeah, I agree with you. It's possible. In my opinion, other wives are jealous of Dom, the lock star. Oh, you okay? You talking about his comment? Okay. V Dub. Okay. Can't stand Olivia and Jackson. I'm Team Don. Hi, Paula. Welcome. 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 You're new to the chat and you love the show. Welcome. We have fun over here talking about Married at First Sight. So I'm hoping you really enjoy it. Mary says the lady expert in the middle. What is her name? I forgot that lady name. In the middle, oh, Mel. That's her name, Mel. Mel seemed to stop them by interrupting what they were analyzing. Yeah, they really did not, do a good job if, with what the fans expected. I don't think legal action is necessary. They made them all look silly. Honestly, that's why I'm going to follow this. There was an investigation about, I saw something about there was an investigation about the broken glass. And then the findings were, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it said because I don't like misquoting. Us content creators, we are definitely under scrutiny by what we say. So, allegedly there was something about investigation of the broken glass at that retreat at the table, and they said that their findings showed no evidence of that. So obviously production made sure they covered their butts. I think Olivia Friend must have an OnlyFans membership and they did the service. That's possible. That's possible. V Dub said putting down another woman in hopes of making yourself stand out above another woman. Oh, that's what a pick me is? Is that what you mean? Putting down another woman in the hope of making yourself stand out or above somebody else. Yeah, nobody should do that, period. I didn't know that was the term or the definition of that term. But nobody should do that, male or woman. I mean, you're gonna stand out in anyway if you just who you are, but putting down somebody or stepping on somebody to do that, that's not cool. Dom is the it girl and Olivia doesn't like it. And what else you say? I agree. Maybe they bought a membership. That's possible. I mean, like I say, we're gonna definitely do another live where we're gonna talk about all the stuff after the season. Cause it's coming. It is coming. Let's see, I agree. Okay, I watched Married at First Sight, haven't viewed. Okay, so Sisters in Grace, we normally do both. We do the US version and we also do Australia. I did a video on the US version last week because it was pretty much about the month anniversaries. The only biggest issue was that whole phone situation, which a lot of people, because production showed a white phone that Elijah one was searching through versus a black phone that technically was actually Katina's phone. A lot of people was like, oh yeah, that's staged, that's fake. So it wasn't really much to talk about, but I will say that the month anniversaries that everybody did was really good. Um, let's see. Olivia needs to heal from childhood traumas because her wounds from it are bleeding on everyone. As they say, when people have this, hurt people hurt people. Did I miss anything? Why didn't I see Olivia's last date? They didn't show it. We're probably not going to see it. And production probably want people to speculate. It keeps you guys talking, right? So there's conversation that they did have a date, we just didn't see it. There's conversation that they needed time from the cameras. There's conversation that you know they're mad at each other. Everybody's speculating, and that's by them not showing the date. We'll probably find out whether they had one or not after the season is over. But they definitely didn't show it. You didn't miss anything. Sisters in Grace, there's you talk V-Dub. Okay, there are a number of YouTube channels that show it. If you have TikTok, QL, and there's a few channels that have too many clips. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it's been a crazy, crazy week with these two. Um, Everything with that whole dinner party, the people and their actions at the table, the sharing of the so-called photo, the scolding or not scolding enough of the experts, and then the missing date. It's just so many weird. This whole thing is just crazy. It's crazy. And the unfortunate part of this whole thing is that if in fact Olivia is acting with no empathy, being cold, being dismissive, being vindictive, and it's due to childhood traumas, you definitely need help with that. If this is who she really is, you cannot work around children with that type of behavior. A lot of people was questioning the fact that, because I think her grandfather or her father, one of the two passed away and she had to take care of them, and they was like, how is a person with no empathy taking care of their grandfather or father on their deathbed? That question came up. Everything started coming out. The whole thing, they even, and the folks that were so pissed off about her showing Dom's OnlyFans pic, there were those same people finding the photo where she took a picture in this lingerie outfit and they shared that. And I'm like, guys, you doing the same thing that you accuse Olivia of doing. It was just a crazy week. It was a crazy, crazy week. All of the there was a lot of clips that came out, a lot of speculations. The ex cast members saying Dom consented to it to be released to the producers. I mean, it was so much this week. So I kind of wanted to let the dust settle and then come and chat with you guys about it. It's just crazy. But yeah, um, you cannot walk through this world being codependent and with a lack of empathy. Hey David, where you been? Where you been? I'm glad to see ya. Her comment was in reference to the case of Dom. She meant she has no empathy for her. Production just blew it out. Gotcha. You know, David, you down there. David, let me ask you. Glad you're here. So, did you hear anything about the whole thing about the consent of Dom sharing that with production by the ex cast member? Now, a lot of people are discrediting him because I guess he wasn't, they didn't like this guy or something. I don't know. But apparently it was said that, and I don't know if it's true, alleged, but that Jack and her Dom are no longer together and that the whole thing was consented to be released on the show. Yeah. So let me know cuz I know you have some you know some stuff down there in Australia and I know some of the other folks was talking about it too. Okay. Oh, you've been busy. Okay, I got you. Popping in, shouting out. My family asked me anything. Okay, so I just asked you a question. Let me know your thoughts. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's just been a crazy week. It's so many things flying, so many angry fans, so many petitions, so many accusations, so many everything that's going on. And like I said, I want to see what happens after the season. I really, really, truly do because the truth and facts are stubborn things, right? So whatever's the truth will definitely come to the surface. If this is who she really is, it's gonna manifest itself. It always do, and it matches up to what's on, this reality show. We'll have to see. Everything is going to come out with everybody. So, like I said, we're going to definitely dive in, talk about it, come up. I might just collect all the tea, bring everybody in, and just list it off one by one by one. So, we're going to talk about it. David said, yes, I believe it was consented to. They did it all for the mess. Dom is actually working on a TV show currently. She did the whole thing for her career. Really? Okay, David. I figure you now I know you're saying this is what you believe. Yeah. Cuz I guess yeah, gosh, cuz there's the stories about how did the photo surface to the actual set? How did it get there? And I mean, there's the story about her googling, then there's the story about her friends, and then it's just so many stories, different reasons or ways that this picture got on set. And then people are saying that, you can't do that on production phones because the other phones are confiscated. We were talking about all that stuff earlier. David says, I would send you the tea, but truth is they're no longer together based on what I can gather. She simply, you really, David, you got to send it to me. Please, please don't keep me hanging like that. Send it to you. I mean, send it to you. Oh my God. See, you got me talking crazy. Send it to me. I want to know. I want to know. So, let's see. I can't wait to hear all the tea once it's all over. Yeah, lock start. That's what I'm saying. The truth and facts are stubborn things. You cannot produce the truth. The truth is what it is. You can produce a lie, but you cannot produce truth and facts. They're going to be what they are. So we'll definitely see. Olivia got her friend to Google her, then sent it to others during the homestay. However, bringing it to the show was okay by Dom. Get the French toast out of here. Are you serious? Wait a minute. So they Googled it, sent it, and then Dom okayed it? Very interesting, like Vanessa says. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you dropping gems in this, and I don't know if anybody want to hear it. Not yet, but you can always send it to me, David. Wow, that's crazy. David, I like when David comes. David, I like when all of you guys come in here. David also brings a little bit extra too when he comes in here with his tea. When do they do the reunion? Is that taped months ago or more recent? Yeah, you guys, let me know what the answer to that is. When do they do the reunion? And when are we going to see it? Because I'm thinking the last episode is this coming Sunday. So the reunion normally would be after the season is over. Good for Dom if she benefits from it. Get it, girl. That's Vanessa. Wow, I'm losing my team Dom feeling now. Why this tea? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It was a lot of different things circulating around this whole thing because okay, it is a sensitive thing, so they had to ask her if it was okay to mention it. That's why they were able to ask the cast about it on live TV. Wow. Wow, David. David, right, Tassie? David has a whole pot of tea. Wow. Well, so it was all in cahoots, huh? Dom giving the okay, similar to Zeke being outed as transgender on Survival years ago. Due to the sensitive nature, production got Zeke's, i.e., victim's permission before going on air. So then, if that's the case, and she brought it to her, why is Dom acting like it was a travesty to share it when she's consented to have it on the show? That's crazy. Yeah, David's spilling all the tea. All the tea. Listen, David, I'm going to do a tea show after the season. So, and I'm going to collect each piece on anything that we have that I can verify, because one thing I don't like doing over here, a lot of content creators tend to get in trouble for, making up stuff or just throwing stuff out there. That's why when I use the word alleged all the time because I try to make sure I maintain integrity over here. I guess the producers have to get stuff signed off on to get Yeah, absolutely. I think Dom might have consented to address it on the show. She would still be angered that Olivia went digging. Then here's my thing with that, Vanessa. If you're okay with having it on the show, then why are you pissed off about everybody looking at it? Because that was the thing. She said, I'm not mad about the fact that I was on OnlyFans. She was upset about the distribution of it. Well, you okay to have it distributed, allegedly. So why are you upset? Which means that was this all, like I say, was this all, storyline or whatever? Why Dom would agree to open up discussions. Yeah, so I don't know, like for example, and it's a different world when it comes to soap operas, but when topics such as breast cancer awareness, bullying, things like that, they'll create a storyline on the show here in the United States. If I know some of the other countries watch like The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, they'll bring a highlight to certain things, have it as a storyline on the show just to bring awareness to it. So I'm wondering if that's why she would have did it, Jocelyn, to open up discussions about it, to bring a light on it. But the problem is that in the reality TV space, people think it's real, so that's why they're attacking Olivia. She was keen to out Olivia, no big surprise, and that everyone saw it but said nothing. Yes, they get things signed off before bringing it to live TV. Then the people react how they see fit. So she was okay with it being brought out. Then she reacted to it. Gotcha. It's betrayal, not exposure. Maestro Alive. Hi. Let's see. Did you post something? B Fly Nick. Hey, you. Listen, you messaged me, you put a message on the episode earlier that you couldn't hear the audio. It was playing fine. Let me know if you got a chance to watch the actual episode 31. To me, it sounds like she only consented because Olivia already told everybody and she's not ashamed of it. Yeah, the only thing is that they acted like it was a big issue that it was shared. So if you consented to have it where everybody see it, why are you upset that it's being shared? Okay, let's see. Things like that are sensitive in Australia and they can get sued if they don't get the approval. Makes sense. And that's what I was trying to say to a couple of people. All of this stuff is on the contract. I mean, you have to approve, disapprove, allow, disallow. These productions try to keep their set airtight because they don't want any type of litigation coming their way. Because maybe they told her they had it, but she didn't know the rest of the cast had it and were circulating amongst themselves. I mean, that's possible. David said, "You saw how Tamara did Brent dirty yesterday. Leans to the tea I sent you before." Yeah, gotcha. Yep, it does. It does. Most definitely, David. Okay, good. I'm glad you were able to, because I saw your message this morning, B Fly Nick, and you was like, no audio. And I'm like, I played it, and I'm like, I can hear it. Hopefully she get a chance to see it. Okay, so good. I'm glad you were able to. Man, David, you dropped some serious tea today. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's all I can say. Because, like I said, I heard so many stories about the consent thing this weekend. So it's more of them just talking about her behind talking talking her wait a minute, hold on. It's more of them just talking about her back. It was rude and disgusting. They were making it up a dirty thing. Yeah, the way that it looked, yeah, it was not a good look. Um, P Power 2900. Welcome. Dom does makeup for Channel 10. Oh, really? Was that a new job? Uh Tassie says, wouldn't producers already know Dom was on OnlyFans? She would have told. Yeah, here's the thing. That's the other thing people were saying. When you fill out your applications to come on the show, they dig in your past. And somebody also said that they told her to take it down. So I'm wondering, now I do know OnlyFans back in October they were shutting down for a while and then they reopened, but I don't know if that happened down there in Australia. But somebody was saying that they told her to remove it, but then they also used it as a storyline in the show. So Tassie, yeah, they would already have to know because they do check your background. Um, Girl, that's no problem. We up in here, we just talking. You cooking and listening. What you cooking, E Love? What you cooking, girl? Yes, I do know that you are Team Dom and Jack. I saw you in the comment section. I saw you all through the comment section in the last several episodes that I posted. So welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, David, oh my gosh. Listen, that's crazy. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna keep watch. But yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard the thing about the consent, and I heard this whole thing about allegedly Jack and Dom are not together. So yeah, yeah. Oh, you making lasagna rolls, girl? That sound good. That sound really good. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see. They said actually only one couple stayed together out of this entire season. And I think we had, let me see, a total of 13 couples, maybe? I think it was a total of 13 couples that came through this season. It was 10 and then the three. Well, technically, I don't know if you want to count Daniel and Carolina. They weren't part of the experiment, but yet they are part of the experiment because they showed up at the girls and boys night. That's what I'm saying. I just don't. I watch everything when it comes to the show because they was like, you cannot be a part of this experiment at the not this past commitment ceremony, but the last one, or yeah, when the whole walkout session, right? But the crazy thing is that production asked them back to do episode 32, which is tomorrow, which is the girls' night and the boys' night. Thanks for supplying it. Oh, absolutely, no problem. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hey, Steph, what's going on? You having a morning cup of coffee? Cool. That's right. It is morning time down there. Hey, it's 6:15 in the evening Tuesday here. Yeah, Heidi, it does sound good. Them lasagna rolls. Yes, you should have. Hey, you guys, we need to do a potluck. Everybody bring something, a virtual potluck, right? Too bad we can't all share, but it all sounds good. Especially since Heidi says she do not cook. So, but let's see. Yeah, that's weird as heck. Why kick them off? Only invite them back. Yes, ratings exactly. So that's why I really give a side eye to production because John Aiken specifically told them you are no longer part of this experiment. And then we see previews for episode 32 where Carolina is hanging out with the girls at girls' night and Daniel is hanging out with the guys at guys' night. Oh, Tassie said, David, bring the tea. Bring the tea. Okay, yeah, Steph. I figure you guys are like 17 hours ahead of me. So yeah, I can see why it'd be 10:15 there. Um, okay, experts told Daniel and Carolina will never be welcome to the experiment, but they exactly. Exactly. That's why I wanted to sort through all of the noise with the whole Olivia and Dominica thing because I'm like, okay, this whole thing is just too much. So yeah, like you just said, Jocelyn, yeah, they were told they will never be welcome to this experiment, and then you bring them up to the dinner party. P Power 2900 is absolutely correct. Producers control the narrative. Yes, they do. They control your contracts during the show, what you can say after the show, what happens on the show. Yeah. John was pissed. Yeah, he was pissed to have them show up. I think the people who just walk and don't follow the rules shouldn't be allowed back. Daniel left because his partner walked. So he followed the rules. Carolina broke rules because she essentially walked. Yeah, that whole thing is interesting. They shouldn't be allowed back. But yeah, they were allowed back. So I posted this picture. This is actually I just want to since he's off the show, well, until we see this whole boys' night out. So this is Daniel's new girlfriend. I mean Daniel, Dion. The two D's got me thrown off. That's Dion New's girlfriend. And according to they said that this was his ex. David, what do you know? What do you know, David? Is this his ex? Because people are saying that this is his ex. So I'm wondering, did he go on the show? Because remember, he got a lot of businesses and stuff. So did he go on the show once the show was over? He got back with his ex. That's what I thought. P Power. Yes, he got back with her. Yes. So I wonder how long do you guys know how long they've been broken up? Or was it like right before the show? Because I've heard of people doing that. They'll break up with somebody right before the show or a year before, go on the show, didn't work out, come back out, and then they get back with their ex. Yes, she is a pretty girl. She is. Yes, I heard that's his. Yeah, that's what I heard. According, that's his ex. I heard that too. So he wasn't worried. Carolina didn't want him. He acted like he wanted to find love. It was waiting for him. So I'm happy that Dion has his new girlfriend. Well, his ex-girlfriend, now his current girlfriend. So I am ecstatic about the fact that he found somebody. Yep, but she's pretty. I just wanted to throw that in there. I like to talk about tea. Here's another one that I want to show you guys. So if you all watch, because if you watch Married at First Sight, you probably watch Love Island. So this guy in the floral shirt is Ronnie from Love Island. What is that? What season was that last November? So this is a crossover between Love Island and Married at First Sight Australia. Yep. The grass isn't green on the other side. Yeah, that's true, P Power. If producers really kept wait a minute, if producers kept from experts Daniel and Carolina fair, the experts need to have a chat with the producers. Yeah, I know, right? Because they claim that they were blindsided. Even Ella did an interview clip saying that they had no idea that Daniel and Carolina was coming on set. Hey, Jacinta, what's going on, girl? If let's see, I'm happy for him. Yeah, I am too. Daniel and another channel saying how they all go on a show for exposure, so I shouldn't be shocked about the T David Gay. Yeah, I wasn't really shocked either because I figured something was going to come out. The truth was going to be revealed. I never watched Love Island. It's pretty good. Love Island Australia was pretty good. Too bad none of the couples stayed together. Um, Mitch and Tina were the winners of that last season that ended in November, but they recently broke up. I think in February. They the one that won it all. But yeah, so I just came across this video where we got Al, Ronnie from Love Island last season, and Jack all hanging out together. So just wanted to put that out there. When I come across stuff, I like to share it with you guys. Um, okay, so let's talk about this particular couple. It's so unfortunate that these two. Jacinta said, I got addicted to Love Island USA, but wasn't able to watch the last season or AU. Actually, I had the video, just like I posted the Married at First Sight Australia videos on my episodes on my channel. I did the same thing with Love Island Australia last year too. So, um, Jocelyn says, Daily Mail article claims Dion tried to become a celebrity chef or just a celebrity applying to several reality TV shows, the same as Andrew. See, that's the thing. These people can use this show. There are people that are genuinely looking for a partner, right? Or a husband or wife. There are a lot of these folks that go on this show looking for exposure. So, I mean, from what I understand, Selena, this isn't her first uh reality show either. Paula, I do have the Love Island Australia videos on Daily Motion. I have a Daily Motion channel as well. So I do have them over there. I can give you um the actual link and the passcode because they're private now. Let's see. It's okay, Daily Mail. Okay, are Jules and Cam the only one from Married at First Sight that are actually still together? That's a good question. Can somebody answer that for Heidi? Are Jules and Cam the only ones from the AU version that are still together? Jacinta said, I wish I would have known about your channel before so that I could have watched it. Yeah, girl, I was here. I've been here since August of 2020. So, yeah, because I did both the recaps I did on Love Island USA, but the actual episodes for Australia I actually had on this channel. Like I say, I do still have them on Daily Motion. If you want to watch them, I can get you the link and the passcode. Um twin brothers from Love Island AU turned up last year on another Channel 9 renovation show, The Block. They did okay too. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these folks go because they just want to put their face on a screen so they can get picked up by somebody. You know what I mean? So even out of, I think, what did they have? 13 couples this season. Only one stayed together. That's crazy. That's crazy. So what happens with everybody else? People are like you guys are saying Dom is getting doing makeup on TV and everything. She has almost 200,000 followers on Instagram. I remember the last time before all of this came out last week, she was somewhere around the 40, 50,000 mark. Now she's almost at 200,000 followers on IG. So yeah, it's definitely blowing up her, you know, her exposure. Yeah, how do we even know if they're going on there for love? Starting to think they're all fake. You just never know. You never know. I will say that on the US version, they are not counting season 14 because it's not over yet, but I do know who stay together on that show. There's three couples that's going to stay together out of that. That's all I'm going to say. But um so far there's 12 couples that are 12 out of the 14 seasons that are still together, married, got kids, bought new houses together, everything. So look like, as much as a lot of us don't like the US version as well, I think there are more people going on the US version actually looking for love and finding a true connection. Jocelyn says Mitch, Ella, and Selena and Cody, two couples where the women are in constant need of reassurance, paired emotionally with. Okay, so while we're talking about that, Jocelyn, I got them on the screen because in today's episode, Ella wanted to know where she stands with Mitch outside of this experiment. And he was like, I'm not even thinking about that right now. We just got to see how it goes. Well, Mitch, the truth is that if this girl is going to move on the other side of to the Gold Coast to be with you, she need to know whether you're in because nobody wants to get moving expenses to move down with a guy who's not sure whether or not they're going to still be together. To me, I would have been like, you know what, you don't know, then I ain't going nowhere until you can figure that out. You gotta let me know what we're doing, because how am I supposed to pack up my stuff, move down to where you are, and you don't know where we're going to be after the experiment? Nah. Yes, please give us the link if you don't mind. I want to watch, and will need something else to feed my addiction. Okay, so Jacinta, are you? I don't have TV anymore. Okay, gotcha. Are you on? Can you follow me on Instagram, or because I don't want you to drop any of your information here? Not saying I don't trust nobody here, but my live gets replayed after this is over, so you don't know who's watching. So just to let you know. But if you want to DM me a way to get you those links, DM me at Romance Review TV on IG, or email me at romancereviewtv@gmail.com. Yes, the US version has many real couples. Yes, that's the one thing I will say is the upside to the US version. We got 12 actual long-term couples here. And there are many of them that have children now. So, um, let's see. Rosemarie says, oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Rosemarie says participants that come into this experiment make a mockery and the sanctity of marriage, especially for those whose hopes and intentions are sincere. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're coming on this show for fame and to build up your Instagram and your followers. I mean, just to give you an example, I know we kind of did a live a couple weeks ago on Love is Blind, and that whole big thing that happened with Shake and Deepti. Deepti started out with probably under 10,000 followers on her IG. In 3 weeks, she's now over 1 million followers. She just hit a mill yesterday. So that's why people, and I'm not saying Deepti went on for that, but I'm just saying that that type of exposure can really build your a platform if you have it. And some people see that as an opportunity to do that because when you have such a huge following like Deepti now has, endorsements come your way because people say, these businesses and these companies or whatever, they like, oh my gosh, she got a huge following we can market to. Let's pay her to talk about our product. So a lot of people know that they can quit their J job and just become a social media influencer. So they use platforms like this or the Big Brother or the Bachelor or Love Island, because even the same thing with, for those who watch Love Island US, Cachet. Cachet came out because everybody adored her. That whole thing with Cinco, of course, they broke up back in January, I think. But she went from having barely no followers to now, I think, over 500,000. And she now has endorsements with Savage X Fenty and some of these other big name companies. So it's definitely an opportunity for some of these folks. But what happens if they're just say you got one of the people in the marriage who's looking for social media fame and then their partner is looking for love. It you see what I'm saying? It becomes a mockery to not only the whole situation, but it is TV. But at the same time, there are people who truly want to find a love of their life, and if they're paired with a person that's only there for their social media, it really hurts that person because it's like, oh, you only, just like they were saying, who was that? Chris and Alyssa from the US version from this season. Chris was like, you just want your 15 minutes of fame. That man wanted a partner. Alyssa wanted attention. So yeah. Okay, Jacinta, yeah, follow me on IG and I'll get you the link for Love Island. Let's see. Okay, Steph says so. Mitch is going to be final vows and refuse to play. I'm not ready to say this. It's no one else's business, including you. You think that's what he's gonna say and how you gonna say it, Steph? Jocelyn says very true. Rosemary Murphy. And given how many participants come with a list of must-haves and little or no emotional maturity, yeah. You know what? Even though Al and Sam broke up, I think people are definitely going to be sliding in Al's DMs if his own social media platform hasn't, went up. I had to check. Don't forget AU doesn't have real marriages, but US does. That is true, Mary. That is true. Thus far, it will appear Holly has the most followers after her marriage. Really? How many followers, Jocelyn? Do you know right off? It's not real. They're going to try hard. Yeah, if it's not real. Okay. Jocelyn said, not sure truly being married would change regarding Married at First Sight or Stray. Okay, you talking to Mary. So many actors made the cut. Yeah, these people, they figure like, hey, if I don't find a partner, I guess I'll get the exposure and use it to my advantage. Especially a lot of these folks got businesses. Dion has his a real estate thing. I understand that Holly, they were saying that she was an actress. We already know Dominica is a makeup artist, so, and Mitch, he's a model, also a financial planner, so these people are definitely going to get seen, even though the fans might not like them, but they'll be seen by, people who want to promote their business on their platform. Wow, for real, Jocelyn, she got over 400,000. Yeah, she's not she don't. Andrew is an afterthought. Andrew is an afterthought. Andrew who? You know. So yeah, it was she definitely got her, her results after being on the show. But in regards to Ella and Mitch, I was hoping, I'm hoping that but from what I'm hearing, it don't sound like this is going to end well. And I don't mean they're going to get into a big fight or anything, but yeah, I had high hopes at the beginning because they was looking at each other like, ooh, the looks they had on their faces at that wedding, especially Ella. Ella looked like she could sop Mitch up with a biscuit. Oh my God. Did you see how both of them were licking out their tongues and licking their lips and stuff as they was looking at each other at the wedding and at the reception of theirs? Now it's like Mitch is saying, I don't know what we doing after this. And Ella is like, well, if I'm going to move, you need to know what we doing. I could see Holly as an actress on a soap opera. Yeah, I agree with you. Holly been on TV shows too. Oh, okay. Rosemary, I read that Ella's mom put out on social media that her daughter is single. Boy, y'all dropping all kind of tea over here today. That's cool with me. We getting toward the end of the show. I know a lot of you guys didn't like spoilers over the past couple weeks. Yeah, it was too much at their wedding. Those two, man. Yeah, I wonder how their honeymoon night went. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't see it ending well. But you know what? Let's talk about this other couple. Cuz this other couple right here, I felt so bad for him. And Tamara, people were saying that Tamara pretty much showed her true colors of what she thought about Brent. And Brent was like, well, there it is. Because she was like, I regret this whole experiment. You pretty much you a big baby. You too moody for me. Tamara made a lot of people mad today, Jacinta. I was like, Brent, you know what? Let that girl be by herself. Please let her be by herself. And I mean, if she was one of those that came on for promoting herself for whatever, it's not a good look, Tam. Not a good look. Let's see. I'm really hoping Dan. Well, Jocelyn, we'll have to see because I don't know. I don't know if you heard the other comments earlier. Heidi said Mitch is clearly there for exposure only, and I think Ella was in it for love, or maybe she's a good actress. Yeah, well, I'm hearing that there was some swapping going on that we supposed to find out after the season. I don't know if it's true or not, but we will definitely see. Um, Elove said Tamara has such a trash attitude. Yeah, that whole thing. She was really cold to Brent on that boat trip. Tamara's so full of herself, no wonder she's single. Yep. Are these women in competition for who could be the biggest? You know what? Yeah, I mean, seriously. You would think you want to come out of this looking good. Not coming out of this looking crazy. Brent walk away. Yeah, he did walk away too, and he should. Like, who cares even if Brent does wait tables? That's hard work. I worked as a manager in food before. It's so hard. Here's the thing. I didn't think he was working behind tables and bars and stuff from the earlier episodes. He was in management, hospitality management or something. So what is she talking about? I think that was a real, yeah. I mean, and then she threw that out there for all of the workers that work in that industry. You really just slapped them in the face tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow showed her true colors away at that wedding. Yeah, when she was going back and forth with Brent about an upside down knife, that was crazy. David says tomorrow is the reason most men want to be with a woman who doesn't make more than them. Yeah, I've heard that, David. I definitely heard that. I say find a woman with good character. Simple. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with Heidi. David says she never respected that man one bit, sized him up from day one, and never saw anything else. Yeah, she's just been going along and get along throughout the season. She didn't like this guy from the get go. Tamara wasn't just cold, she was cruel, condescending, and sexist. Yeah, she was saying things like, you're moody all the time. And then he was like, well, what about your moods? Well, how is that fair? You're just calling me moody because I called you moody. That whole argument was ridiculous. David said lots of ladies don't think age, biology, and time are not on their side. Oh, don't think. Okay, keep sizing men up looking for the highest bidder, and you might end up alone in old age. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. I mean, we were talking about that with Holly several weeks ago about how she wanted to have a baby and how she never prioritized family and children until she got into her late 30s. And now she think, and that could have been people saying she's an actress. But if that is true, and she's almost 40 and she kind of let go all of those years, or she have regrets, that's what David is referring to. You know, I mean, I with me myself, I knew I wanted to have my children before the age of 30. I knew that, and I had my first one at 26, and I had the other one at 29. Yep. So, and I was married too. That's the other thing. So I prioritized marriage and children in my 20s. But to each his own, but you also got to consider what outcome you want. You know what I mean? So if you want an outcome where you see a husband and children, that's something that you would want to look for. If your outcome is something different and you're okay with that, then you're going to proceed down that route to get to that outcome. Money and all is one thing, but when your needs are out and you can't help yourself, you need someone who really cares. Money becomes not so. Yeah, I've seen circumstances like that. And I know we kind of getting a little bit off topic, but um where, people are living by themselves, something happened, they can't get to the phone, they're stuck in the house. If you don't have a lot of friends, nobody's coming by to check on you. So it's if that's something that you want in your later years, it's definitely something that you should make a priority to look for if that's your outcome that you want. So I totally get it, David. Absolutely. But yeah, with Tamara, I honestly think that Tamara wants I don't know. It seems she was checked out on Brent a long time ago. She really didn't like the guy. And of course, with this whole thing, I don't like one thing I don't like about the AU version, that if I want to leave, I want to leave. I shouldn't have to stay just because my partner says stay. Why? I mean, if I know this is not where I should be, let me leave. But the rules, but I guess you sign a contract. If the contract say if your partner say you have they want to stay, then you have to stay in the experiment, which sucks to me. It really does. David says, you should totally talk about prioritizing marriage for women and marrying before you carry. I appreciate the reviews, but give me some nuggets. It's really needed. I do, when it's not, when I have a slow season, when I don't have like a ton of shows, because I still got to do Ready to Love and Temptation Island, which happened last week. And then Married at First Sight Australia is 4 days a week. So probably after next week, things are going to kind of slow down a little bit. If you guys are interested, I can definitely do relationship videos. So most definitely. I will look into that, David. Absolutely. But yeah, I made it a priority. Marry before I carry. That was me. I can't speak on everybody else, but yes. Brent had his own successful marketing and events agency in Dubai, which crushed the pan. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. They should highlight that he had to move. I saw that in his introduction when at the beginning of the city, and they showed all of what he did in Dubai. And my thing is, all we can see Tamara talking about is, oh yeah, you ain't nothing but waiting tables. You ain't nothing but a waiter. And I'm like, dang, that's a hard job too. How you just gonna? So yeah, I agree with you. Um, I'll be 70 in a couple of months, David, and alone by choice. If I was looking for it, if I was looking, it would be for a good soul. Gotcha. And like I said, it depends on the outcome that you want, Mary. If you're okay with that and you're okay with taking care of just yourself, then that's your choice. It's all about the outcome. Jocelyn says many vow for better for worse, rich or poor, sickness and health. Few understand what it means, much less keep their vows. Absolutely. I agree with David, but how they're going to support you without money? I think you have to have someone with both. I'm disabled and in a situation, RNT Jesus said, having trouble caring for yourself without care. Yeah, yeah. Sorry to hear about that, though. Just make sure you take care of yourself, Jacinta. Jocelyn, based on what was shown on Married at First Sight AU, few couples appear capable of sustaining a marriage. I know, right? That's because what is their original intent? It's all anytime you're getting involved in a relationship or even in a situation with what is your intent? What is your intentions? You have to be intentional. And if your intent is to come on this show not looking for love but for exposure, they're not going to stay with anybody because the intent or the agenda in the beginning wasn't what the show was about. So that's probably why, you know, these folks come on here because in their mind, I just want to be on TV versus I want to look for a wife or a husband. Um, let's see. I get your point. It's true. Yes, it's all about outcomes. Sorry to hear about that, Jacinta. Yes, just hang in there. We love having you over here where we can chit chat and have a good time, Jacinta. But yes, yes, yes. No problem. No problem. But Brent will be just fine. I'm not worried about him. He's going to have a ton of women in his DMs. Seriously. Okay, so this other couple got people questioning stuff as well. That is Cody and Selena. Now, Selena is another one who wants to know where Cody stands. And the his conversation is not clear. He's not giving clear answers on what they're going to do, what he really wants, and is leaving her in this gray area, right? And so, um, with her being in that gray area, it's concerning, and it should be, you know. Um, I wasn't a fan. You know what, Vanessa? What really got me is how is a couple things. Number one, the whole thing with him not being comfortable with her look. The second thing is him saying that he has no empathy and he's cold. Plus, he still have a lot of unresolved trauma from his mom and the death of his father. So it's a lot of stuff going on there that I think Cody needs to deal with before he get in a relationship with anybody. You know. Yes, this is my happy time. I'm glad. I'm glad you having fun with us over here, Jacinta. That is cool. Vanessa said, I'm not a fan of Selena and Cody. It's a mismatch. It was a mismatch from jump. They should have put Selena with Al. Selena and Cody will never make it, and she deserved better anyway. He should have given those flowers to Dom. Guy has no social skills. Yeah. I love my accent. Who accent? Me? I love your accent. My coworker just asked, who are you talking to and where is she? She's in the YouTube. You like my accent? I don't even think I have an accent. I mean, I'm from the Midwest in the States. So unless we got an accent over here, I don't know. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Mary said their relationship looked forced. It absolutely does look forced. He's just getting through the process. That's what it looks like. Their conversation confused the hell out of me. If Mitch and Cody are really about it, they would have brought it up on their own, like Jack did, not making these girls feel weird about their feelings. Yeah, because it's all gray areas. It's like, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. And, we don't know what's going to happen after this experiment. There's no definite. And the thing is, men usually know who's wife and who's everything else. You know what I mean? So they know if they're really sincere about being with somebody, usually men can be pretty darn territorial. So they know exactly who that woman is that they really want to settle down with. Let's see. Okay. Do you think the experts are instructed to overlook certain behaviors in participants' order? Oh, absolutely. I honestly believe that when they go through the audition and they ask these questions, because they show the auditions over here in the States before the season starts. It's like a pre episode to the first episode or whatever you want to call it. But I honestly believe that they look for hyper people, people that are easily reactive. Um, because if you're pretty level-headed, mild-mannered, analytical, they might try to use you, but producers like to get into the cast members' heads as well. So not only do they try to give a reaction to the fans, they also like to get into the heads of their own cast. So they tend to look for people who are extremely extroverted, usually, or people that are extremely reactive. That's something to set them off. I saw a video about the dinner parties, and I didn't know that these dinner parties are 15 hours long and they keep them away from each other for a while. It's a whole video out there. And what they go through, a 15-hour dinner party. The dinner party filming starts like 10 a.m. and doesn't end until after midnight. Could you imagine sitting up there all evening, all day with film and cameras in your face at a table that long? I couldn't do it. I like being active and moving around, and to sit and film for 15 hours for a dinner party, that's ridiculous. Cody is damaged goods. Yeah, he got a lot of trauma with the family stuff. Cody has improved, unlike Olivia. Problem is too little is given to what Selena needs. Yeah, Selena needs more. And I don't think Cody is 100% sold into her, even though he says certain things to keep her going. Kind of like how we was talking in the previous lives about breadcrumbing. You drop a little crumb here, crumb there. Yeah. We all have an accent. Okay, Jocelyn. Stephanie says, I love the AU accent. I mean, I love to hear you guys talk. I really do in Australia. I hear an accent. I'm from the East Coast. Okay. Yes, you have an accent. We all do. We were wondering if maybe it was Southern. No, I'm actually a Midwesterner. So, no, not my, now. My older generation family is from the South, but I was raised in the Midwest. I think it's crazy they went through a marriage ceremony yet acting like they're not sure. Don't know. It's crazy to me. What about the vows? Okay, so Jacinta I don't know if you guys are aware that with the AU version, it's not they're not legally married. So yeah, I think after the season, and the Australia folks in the chat, let me know, they can get a full legal marriage after the season, right? So yeah, but when they actually do it on the show, they are not legally married. Um, yeah, they do act like they forgot why they, because a lot of them are there for different purposes. They're not there for marriage. Yeah, Cody has so many red flags. Yes, he do. The experts don't see all the footage just prior to the reunion episode. Apparently, it's done on purpose to help the main objectivity. Yeah, but I thought we see them jostling, watching the dinner parties and stuff. So they do see some things. Okay, but you say they don't see all of the footage. Okay, got you. So they do see some things. 15-hour dinner party. I break the class too. Yeah, I actually saw some information about that filming of that dinner party can be like 15 hours. I couldn't do it. Tracy says, "Hey Tracy, do you think production only shows the dinner party to the experts to keep them in the dark?" That's possible. Jacinta says, "I honestly don't see how they even enjoy all of that delicious food with all of the drama at the time." Right. Could you imagine? I just, ooh, that's just too much. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I'll watch the show. I'll even talk about it with you guys. But me signing up for something like that, that's a no for me. Um, I believe the open bar helps them enjoy the dinner party and adds to the drama. Yeah. There was also another clip in that same video about how they keep the alcohol going, coming, 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 and even to certain points that people bring their own alcohol. It's crazy. It is really crazy. Stephanie says a 15-hour dinner party all day. Wow, any normal group will have a spat in time. Humans is humans. That's shocking. I wish I didn't like this show. We're all being manipulated to watch. Yeah, so imagine if you're sitting down for 15 hours. You're going to get tired. You're going to get antsy. So, of course, when the drama happens, you're more on edge. And honestly, that's the purpose of it. That's why that scene on Married at First Sight US, when they were on the honeymoons and they were sitting down talking, did you guys notice that it was sunshine and daylight and that conversation went on? By the time that happened with Alyssa at the end of that dinner, honeymoon dinner thing, it was nighttime. So yeah, the filming is all day. Long hours filming. Jocelyn says long hours filming, and they get paid less than $200 a day. Wow. Now that's crazy. Jacinta said they drink a lot on the show. I don't see how they're always drunk. But that's the thing. If you got people that is filming at a dinner party for 15 hours and the alcohol is flowing, you don't know what's going to come out of somebody's mouth. Because if they're loose and tired, you know how they say, I don't want to call these people drunk, so I don't know the level of inebriation. But they say a drunk person speak a sober mind, and people are a lot more relaxed, and then you're tired from sitting at a party, dinner party filming. This is not like a typical dinner party where you're hanging out just doing your own thing. These people are under a microscope of a camera with all these production people around. So, yeah, it can be. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I cannot do it myself. Um, so you agree with Stephanie? Yes, I agree. We are being manipulated and watched. Well, I mean that's the purpose. Just like um any other TV show, even commercials. Purpose of commercials is to get you to buy, right? So if you're watching the show, they want you to buy into it. They want you to keep watching. The endorsers and those commercials that come in between certain parts of the episode, those people are paying the production teams money, and in order for them to keep paying them money to do whatever, they have to keep the audience there. And from what I understand over this past week, Married at First Sight Australia has been trending in the top 5 in Australia. So, yeah, that says a lot. Um, Arranged marriages are always interesting. It is, I mean, it's very interesting. And especially like over in the US, we said 12 marriages and babies. So it's nice to see that you can put strangers together, the connection work, they stay married, and then there's babies. So when Dom decided not to drink alcohol after breaking the glass, production must have been so disappointed. Probably so. They was trying to get her to stay, remember? Loose lips sink ships, and in wine there's a truth. That is true. Mary says it's called tell you vision for a reason. Right. I'm gonna tell you. Exactly. But yeah, I don't see, I honestly think Cody got a lot of stuff going on that he needs to deal with. And Selena, yeah, she won't have a problem either. If she's truly ready to look for a husband, she won't have a problem. She'll be just fine. Plus, if she get a ton of following on her Instagram, she will definitely get promotion to her hair salon. So then we had this day, and they got the best edit this episode. Jack and Dominica. So they had this whole Italian type um getaway date, whatever. I thought it was absolutely great. They had the music in the background being so romantic. She was romantic. Um, Guys, one of my favorites, and my son introduced it to me, and I heard Dom talking about it in this episode, is Tim Tams. Oh my gosh. My son introduced me to Tim Tams about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And he said, Mom, you got to try these. This is what I think they're from Australia, he said. And I love them. They are, oh my God, it's so good. And when I heard Dom talk about the Tim Tams that was in her dessert, I'm like, dang, I got to go get me some. I haven't had any in a while. Do you guys like Tim Tams? Let me know. Okay, David says these shows are often humans using humans as lab rats. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I want to make sure I get everybody comment. Jocelyn said the resort where the couples went charges over $6,000 a night per room. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, these shows are often humans using humans as lab rats. If I went on this show as a woman, you ain't seeing my bra strap. Trust me. No sex. That's just damage for someone. I'm not sure why they're look like something cut off on the end. Yeah, I mean, it's a social experiment. That's exactly what it is. It's a social experiment that hey, if we put this person sight unseen with this person sight unseen, based on what we know and the characteristics, this should work. And sometimes I honestly believe that they put mismatched people together because they know drama is going to come from it. Stephanie says it's just a soap pieced together and editing suite using performers who happen to be real but have little say in their storyline because it's not about them, it's about the narrative. Absolutely. Heidi says, David, yes, another channel calls them love rats. Oh my gosh. Tassie says, guys, would it be okay to share something with you all? Tassie, do you have some tea? What you got, girl? I'm curious. Yeah, so drop it down. Let me know what you're talking about. I agree. Stephanie said, I'll send you some Tim Tams. Oh my God, they are so good. Cause I was when my son was talking about it, I'm like, Tim Tams, what are you talking about? And he was like, Mom, you gotta try it. He was in high school at the time, so this had to be probably like 4 or 5 years ago. But he was like, oh my God, Mom, you gotta try it. You gotta try it. And so I tried. I'm like, oh, these are so good. I have to stay away from them. I try to watch my weight. I work out 4 or 5 times a week, but I do have a cheat day. So I'm going to have to grab me a couple on my cheat day, which is usually a weekend day, and enjoy me some Tim Tams. Yes, Tim Tams are cookies, but they have them like caramel and chocolate and yeah. So, oh, it's a bit of personal use. Are you okay? If you're okay of spreading personal news, fine. Because remember, this is a replay after we get off. So, but if you're okay with it, um, okay. Heidi says, but since it's just drama and not actual relationships, I'm realizing UN's version is not so bad. At least they have actual real couples. Yes, I will say that. Yes, chocolate cookies. They have a few different flavors now. Yeah, they do. They have caramel. I love chocolate and caramel, and I love chocolate and peanut butter. Yes, I do. Jacinta says, yes, Wilco calls them love lab rats. Yeah, because it's a social experiment. They putting blind people together, not blind literally, but unseen love without any previous access and see how it works. Tassie said, I resume chemo and other cancer treatment. Oh, okay. We will send some prayers over to Tassie. I totally get it. I'm a breast cancer survivor. So I totally get it. I know what it's like. Hang in there, Tass. Prayers. We're sending up prayers, hearts. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna keep you in our prayers and our thoughts. Jocelyn, yes, we will. So you guys send her prayers and hearts and thoughts, Keep a smile on your face, Tassie. Jocelyn says, I found Tim Tams at Walmart. They are the lower shelves. Yes, that's where my son got them from. Yep, you're absolutely right. Yes, prayers, positive vibes your way, Tassie. Prayers, prayers, prayers. Heidi says exactly Wilco's channel. Yeah, yep. Yeah, he put out a lot of stuff over there. Tassie, not looking for pity. I love this community. I see you as cyber friends. Aw, okay, cool. Hey, we're not trying to send you pity. We just want to send you well wishes. That's all. Good stuff, good vibes. Prayers and healing vibes. Yes. Stay positive. Absolutely. Wishing you all the best. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, just keep that smile on your face. Come over here and have fun with us. We're gonna send you good energy and positive vibes. But yeah, they definitely gave Jack and Dominica the best date edit. Um, Tam and Brent went downhill. We didn't get to see Olivia and Jackson's date, and Ella and Mitch not really that good, you know. So, and Cody and Selena. So she got the best date edit. Everybody else was just pretty much up in the air, confused, don't know what they're doing. We didn't see one of the dates, so yeah, they made Dom and Jack's romantic thing. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Do you actually think Jack and Dominica is a match? Take away all of the Olivia stuff, take away the other couples, the experts. If these two was to actually meet on the street or in a cafe or at a place of entertainment, do you think that they would have gotten past the first conversation? Do you think they actually truly are compatible? Let me know what you think. Tassie says, thanks to you especially. You are so kind and make me feel so special. Going to sign off in a second. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm glad that because hey, we try to keep it a positive space over here. We have fun, no judgment, no bias. We try to cut down the middle and keep everything upbeat and happy. So yeah, just go get some rest. If you need to sign off, go do it, girl. We'll see you next time. Wonder what happened to Jackson and Olivia. They didn't show us the date. Okay, Mary says, I love them together. Vanessa says, unfortunately, no. Elove says she thinks they are. Olivia is probably still raging and crying over her dressing down. I honestly believe they did have a date. They just didn't show it purposefully. Because how much you want to bet Jackson and Olivia is going to come back? Because people are going to ask them, hey, what happened to your date? And they're going to come out with this whole story about, well, we did this and we did that. They just didn't air it. I didn't know if they would be at first, but I actually do think they're a match if they can appreciate others' differences and work together. Okay. All right. Probably not because Dom is very vivacious and Jack is rather an internalizer, kind of shy. They do seem like opposites to me, because even with the whole sex on the cycle, that whole thing, and she was complaining at him not really putting it down well in the bedroom and stuff like that. And she said that that was a big issue in her previous marriage. So, I mean, I'm wondering if, in fact, they're opposites actually, especially in that aspect. Jack and Dom seem very well matched. Same for Olivia and Jackson. Now, Olivia and Jackson from episode 1 through 19, I thought they were absolutely perfect for each other. 19 through, I should say, 20 through 31, it's been a crap show. And because, now we're hearing things about the consent to release from Dom and all this sort kind of stuff with her photo and blah, 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 blah. I don't know what to believe in that whole situation. Is this something that they decided to give her a storyline and they enacted it over this photo? It's just crazy. But did I Jackson and Olivia? Yeah, I can see that. I didn't think they were compatible at first, but over the weeks I felt though they were complete opposite. Yep, sending love to Tassie. Yes, we sending her love. As a man, I say no. He is dimming his light and sucking up to Dom because she is very high energy. He couldn't even voice his concerns. He needed Olivia to give him the task. Wow, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. I mean, they're opposites in the bedroom. They're opposites in personality. Um, she has a more of I don't even want to go there. Her energy is a lot more extroverted than his. He's a little bit more shy and reserved. So she would technically have to pull him out of the shell. But like David says, dimming his light. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Opposites attract. Hubby and I are proof of that. We complement each other in terms of strengths and weaknesses. But that's the thing. You complement each other. Is it going to be a situation where we saw where Dom would talk about him behind his back, talk about him in front of other people in public? You guys know how to complement those differences. Some people that are opposite know how to use them against you, which is not a good thing. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens after the season. But that's great, Jocelyn. It's good to hear that you guys do complement each other. They're opposite in those ways, but if they make a choice to work through the differences, they can make it work. Sex can be a huge incompatibility, though. Absolutely. That's the thing. And that was if she walked away from a marriage in 2 months over that, according to what she said, could she walk away again if the sex is not compatible? That's a good hey. Jacinta also said they can learn and grow from their differences if they really try. The question is, are they going to try? Is Dom willing to dial it back to protect his ego? Because sometimes ego can be used as a negative term, but men have an ego, and you can really destroy that by embarrassing them in front of other people, talking about them to other folks behind their back. And in this case, he happened to hear it when they was at the retreat. You can only do that so long before that person begins to resent you. So Very few men and women consider sex during menstruation an option. Dominica said, "Yeah, she did. She was acting like that's normal for her. Cause when he was like, even the man in the room, when the facial responses to like Cody and Al and some of the other guys in the room, they were looking like okay, and then Alessandra was like, dang, women have a period. Okay, we understand that, Alessandra. But the thing is, the question is, are men, every man, okay with having sex with a woman on the period? Not every man is okay with that. Okay. But she made it as if they shouldn't have been responding like that. I thought that was pretty crazy to me. um let's see. Okay, extroverts and introverts often get on well. They are well matched in values. That's huge. Sex mismatch take work. Absolutely. I hope they can do it. Could ruin the whole thing. Yeah, because what's going to end up happening is, and that's so unfortunate. I do not agree with cheating. I do know that it happens though. Is that some people, I would say, if you cannot, y'all need to first talk about it. And then if it's not working, it's not working, and you need to part ways. Don't go cheat on somebody because you didn't get what you want from the bedroom, and that could happen, But in this case with Dom, it looks like with her first marriage, she walked away from it. I got a divorce or whatever. I think she was married. So she got a divorce and left the marriage because the sex wasn't there, according to her. So, at least she did it the right way. She didn't go cheat on the first husband. She was like, nope, this is not going to work. I want to end it before it get too far. So, they remind me of an ex. I'm like Dom. He was more like Jack. If Jack was also a pathological liar too. But I got therapy and was making it work, but he wasn't willing and he gave up. Okay. Wow. Okay, Jacinta. I did see on a channel that Olivia was keeping affections away from Jackson because he liked his time alone, but I don't know if that's true. If it fits in with her personality though. Yeah, usually if you're codependent, you're not holding back affection. Codependent, according to, remember what we saw in episode 30, they were trying to deem her as being codependent, that he was taken away from her and all of this type of stuff. A codependent person usually don't try to play those I'm withholding sex game. Let's see. I don't think it's only sex. I've learned not to hear only one person's side when a relationship goes apart. Absolutely. Absolutely, David. I know where you're coming from. It's definitely more than sex. I wonder what the ex would say. Absolutely. I'm just repeating, yeah, because there's always another side of the story. She said the sex was bad, but I'm just repeating what she said on the show. But there's also his side of the story. So yeah, there's always his side, the other person, one side, and then the truth. There's three sides to a story. So yeah, very true, David. Very true. Personally, I am not pleased. No sex during periods. It's just gotcha, gotcha. Don't. Does anyone know what happened to Anthony? Looking forward to seeing him at the reunion. He was a nice guy. Well, he'll be at the guys' party in tomorrow's episode 32. So we'll see what's going on with Mr. Anthony. I would love to see them together, but I think Dom will move on. I do think they will stay good friends. Of course, if Dom is getting the platform that she's getting, and there are circulating reports that they're not together, and that whole thing tied to her giving consent on releasing the photo, yeah, it's a lot of stories. Stuff is going to come out. Like I said, the truth is going to be revealed. Um, let's see. Sex, as in all thing in a couple, is a matter of open communication. Absolutely. Negotiation and respect. Absolutely. If anything is missing, game over. You are absolutely correct. Honesty is also important. Absolutely. You have to communicate about that. And especially you got to let your partner know what you like, what you don't like. And it works both ways. It's not just one person take and the other person give. It's a experience that you should enjoy together. So the one person gives and talk about what they want, the other person tells them what they like and what they want, and you guys have to work together to make it happen. So oh my God, I don't want to see the text mess Andrew at the reunion. Well, he's going to be there tomorrow, episode 32. So Daniel will be back, Andrew will be back, Anthony will be back, Al would be back, and Dion would be back. On the women's side, Carolina would be back, Holly is back, Celine is back as well, and Samantha will be back. I'm wondering, I would have assumed that Kate and Matt would also be there, right? So I don't know. We maybe get to see Kate and Matt too. Who knows? Who knows? But we'll have to see what's gonna happen with Dom and Jack. And I'm definitely looking forward to episode 32 because obviously not tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow is yelling. Celine is saying something crazy. And then we saw the facial responses on Olivia and Dominica. So who knows what that's about. We did lose this couple on Sunday's episode 29. Sam, they had their little date. He was hoping for something more, but they both decided to leave. So I'm glad that, they didn't waste each other's time and they decided to move it along. But like I say, Al, I think he learned a lot from this experiment about himself. Maybe it might have matured him just a little bit, at least. Sam, I know she's in business as well. So she'll probably get the following that she's looking for. She's a pretty girl. Al is handsome, so he'll have women in his DMs too. So I hope there's plenty of security at these parties. Sound like they will be doozies. Yeah, especially if they have to sit around for 15 hours. Especially if it's going to be another 15-hour dinner party. Steph, yeah, did, but so did Jess. Oh yeah, Jess is at the table too. Ooh, that's gonna be crazy. Andrew and Tamara need each other. They both think they're more than they are. I don't even see them as a match. You know what? Let me ask you guys a quick question, and then we're coming to the end. We've been here for 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 22 minutes. But let me ask you guys this question, and it was really interesting because with the whole photo scandal thing that's been going on this past week, and the accusations of shaming, and I won't say the first word because you just never know about YouTube and picking up words, and then they'll give me a ding. But the slamming, body sex positive message. Some people was also saying, okay, if it's not okay to shame Dom for that, why was it okay to shame Andrew for him sleeping with 350 people? What do you guys think about that comparison? I like to get you guys thought, because I'm all through the comment sections on many platforms, and I find interesting topics on what they talk about with regards to the show. What do you guys think about that? I'm curious to get your thoughts because when it comes to Dom, people did not like the idea of the SLUT slamming, but when it came to Andrew, people was dragging him for sleeping with 350 people. So what's your thoughts on that? I want to see what you guys think. I know you have some stuff to say about that. I wanted to get your thoughts. Mary says not the same. Why do you think it's not the same? I just want to know. You say it's not the same. I got a ton of comments up here. I watched the interview with Al. Nothing has changed. He's still a goofball. Okay, see Christmas. If he haven't changed, Jocelyn, yes, that's what Rocco started calling him. I thought it was perfect too. He also said Oblivia for Olivia. I love the names he come up with. Okay, I was wondering. I see, and I also seen Olivia Liar. Olivia Liar, like they put Olivia with a R at the end because I think it spells liar. So I've seen that too. T quote: Al needs to be protected at all costs. Yeah, people were saying that in previous episodes. I was sad when Al left. I didn't want to like him at first, but I winded up loving him. I couldn't help it. He's just so loving and honest. Yeah, he was cool. I mean, he was funny. He was cool. Yeah. Jacinta said Al has some growing up to do, but he was very willing to learn this is important and it's hard to find. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with him if he meet up with a new girl, what's going to happen with Sam. But I guess the only answer I'm going to give from is Mary. Mary said it's not the same. So, yeah, somebody said that, and I was like, that's pretty interesting. I'm going to ask my chat members about that, whether or not shaming or dragging um, Andrew for sleeping with 350 people is different than the SLUT slamming, shaming of Dom and the OnlyFans photo. So, Mary says, I think Andrew was on BS number and bragging. Well, we'll never know. Wilco says, Carolier for Carolina. Yeah, but they also putting on Olivia Liar. They've been using that as well. Jocelyn says, I believe Andrew uses stats to shame Holly. Dom didn't. But what I'm saying is that the fans are. So the fans called what was done SLUT shaming. But when the fans got a hold to the 350, they kind of dragged him for it. So that's what they were saying. Steph says not the same at all. I think Andrew caught negative response because he kind of revealed that as a weapon against Holly, as if to say she was bad in the bedroom and he's the expert, so he knows. Gotcha. Jacinta says, I think Andrew's sex number was gross personally. I think that's very different from just posing a nude photo. Yeah, well, it's interesting. Everybody has a different perspective because there were a lot of people who saw this as being hypocritical in one of the platforms that I was reading. And I'm like, that's interesting because, some people thought that, hey, how can you say this thing on this person, that thing on that person? So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts. Um, 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 I think Andrew's sex number was gross personally. Okay, gotcha. All right. So I wanted to know what you guys thought on that. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I came across? I think I asked you guys about most of the stuff that I heard, about the whole phones and production phones versus having their own phones, that they were confiscating the personal phones of the cast. The whole thing about um, the consent, the consent of the release of the photo by Dom, that they got the okay to release that photo on the show. But then on the show, it acted that she was upset that it was shared on the show. So which one is it? If you gave consent to have it shown on the show, but you didn't want it shown to the cast member on the show, I don't get it. So we talked about that earlier. So we covered a lot of ground. We're down, you guys, to 2 episodes. Yeah, we're down to 2 episodes. So we got tomorrow's episode, and then we have the final vows on Sunday. So, we got to do one more review live chat on, during the season. I'm still going to try to collect. If any of you guys, David, I know you got stuff or you come across stuff, but yeah, send me the tea and we'll do a tea party. So any stuff after the season that I've came across, or even if you jump in the chat and you've seen some things, or if you want to send me the links to different things that you found, photos, audio, interview links, whatever. Send them to me and we can do a tea party. We can do it live. We can talk about it. We can ooh and ah and what and really, all of that good stuff when we do an after the season tea party. So, what do you guys think? Okay, so wait a minute. We got comments. Thanks for consistently upload. Girl, I try. Listen, but here's my question. A lot of folks, I still get people disliking my video. And it's like, well, I'm just posting the episode. Do you not like what's happening on the show, or do you not like me uploading the video? Because it does show my percentage of likes versus dislikes. And so I do get dislikes. And I'm like, well, what do you dislike about the upload? It's just the episode. It's not me creating you know, the videos or whatever. So I thought that was kind of weird. Um, Jacinta said, I am just against casual sex for the most part, especially in high number. Is treating people just like another notch on the belt. So arrogant. Also, it's abusive in sense. I'm an old school girl and take sharing sex intimacy with someone else quite seriously. Think of STDs, not cool at all. Yeah, but that's the thing. Sex positive is what goes on. Um, and we're in a time period, and it's all about preferences. I myself, I agree, with people choosing to do what they want, but you also got to look at the outcome. So if they figure they want to go down that path, what is their outcome after living that way? But they got to deal with the end result. So they have to consider that. Um, Dom Pick wasn't hurting anyone else. Yeah, but we also, I'm just saying what the fans were saying. You know what I mean? It was just pretty interesting. Dom Pick wasn't hurting anybody else. Andrew admission was intended to belittle Holly, and I wonder how many of his 350 knew they were a notch on his bedpost and maybe not being treated well. Well, here's the thing. Um, the question is, was he in a relationship? Does the person on the other end also was casual as he was? I mean, there are people that casually sleep with other people casually sleeping with them. So we don't know if this was, I'm just sleeping with you and keep it moving. There are people that are open, both men and women, to casual sex. So it's possible. We don't know what the length of time. Who knows? Maybe this is another added storyline for embellishment to trigger the fans. But I just saw that out there and I wanted to get you guys perspective. It's been a good review. Oh, great, great, great. Would send you what I got. Please send me. What do you mean would? Send me what you got, David. Don't be holding out on me. Don't be holding out on me. And guys, if you enjoyed the chat that we had tonight, hit the like button. You want to follow me on IG? My handle is there. You want to support the channel? My cash tag is there as well. And yeah, I'm glad you guys. We had a lot to talk about. We had a lot to unpack. We got a little bit of tea. David been dropping gems all around. So yes, Andrew was bragging. Dom was brought up by someone else. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Jocelyn says some trolls go around disliking videos because they're sad. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I'm like, okay, you guys want me to keep uploading? I mean, I could stop and we can just do recaps. I mean, do you like the video or you don't like what happened with the show and the characters. I don't know. Yes, David, bring us the hot boiling tea. Jacinta said, I'm looking forward to the after show tea party. Yes, and when I gather all of the tea, I'm going to put out a notification like I usually do and let you guys know when I'm doing it, and we gonna chat about it. So yeah, David or anybody else, send me links. You got my email, romancereviewtv@gmail.com. My DMs in my IG, Romance Review TV. Send me the tea. I can collect a bunch of it, and we gonna ooh and ah and wow and you're serious and any other terms we're gonna come up with when we talk about what we find. So I just want to say I appreciate everyone in the chat every show. Thank you so much, making it fun. Yes, bring me the tea, David. Thank you. We love and appreciate you. I appreciate you guys showing up every time I do these lives. We've been going strong for the last month or so since I started doing them. No, please don't stop uploading. It's the only way I can watch. Forget the trolls. I'm gonna keep doing it till we get to the end. I love your chat and your uploads because Channel 9 has so many ads. Your uploads are ad free. Love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, you want to just get through the show. You don't want to have to go through like TikTok. Okay, is this over with? Commercial. Yes, I totally get it. Yes, I appreciate all of you guys each and every week. I am so glad to spend these chats, these live chats with you, and we have a good time over here. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show. Again, you can follow me at Romance Review TV. If you want to email me, romancereviewtv@gmail.com. And if you want to support the channel, hit the Cash App. My cash tag is there. And also hit the like button if you enjoyed this live. So until the next video, we will see you next time. And you are welcome, Lockstar. No problem. I'm glad you appreciate it. Thank you for all of the hearts and everything. So we'll see you next time. Bye, you guys.